researchers across Australia attached cameras and GPS trackers to hundreds of pet cats, animals their owners described as house cats. Calm, mostly indoors, not hunters. What the footage showed didn't match a single one of those descriptions. A study led by researchers including teams from the University of Queensland and Charles Darwin University compiled data across multiple Australian projects. One number stopped the review process. Researchers tracking cats that owners believed were contained indoors at night found that 39% of those cats actually had nighttime ranges covering more than 1 full hectare. Not occasionally, every night. While their owners were asleep, certain their cat was on the couch. This is not a story about feral cats or stray cats or cats in the bush. These were pets, fed, loved, sleeping on beds during the day. And 5 things the cameras recorded apply to almost every house cat alive, including, very possibly, yours. 5 findings. I'm not starting with the cute ones. The first 3 are the ones that explain why your cat's behavior at night has nothing to do with what you think it's doing. And finding 5 is the one that connects all of this back to something the cameras weren't even designed to measure. What happens the moment the cat decides the night is over? My cat stays close. It's in the garden, maybe next door, back within the hour. I can see most of where it goes. Have you ever actually tracked your cat with a GPS app for a full week? Or are you going off what you see from your window? The 39% figure came from cats whose owners were specifically asked beforehand. Does your cat roam outside at night? The owners who said no, confidently, were the ones whose cats were then tracked covering territory larger than most suburban blocks. The mechanism is simple. Cats are crepuscular, most active at dawn, dusk, and through the night. During the hours you're asleep, the same animal that spent the day loafing on your bed runs a territorial circuit that can extend across multiple properties. It returns before you wake. Nothing about its daytime behavior gives you any information about its nighttime range. The cat you think you know completely is an animal you only observe during its rest cycle. Finding 1 is about distance. Finding 2 is about what's actually happening at the far edges of that distance. And it's the number that made this study controversial. Finding number 2. 71% of Australian pet cats roam freely. And most are hunting when they do. If my cat goes outside, it's exploring, sniffing around, maybe chasing a leaf. It's not really hunting, and it's a pet. How many times has your cat come home with something in its mouth? And how many times do you think it actually hunted that week? Across 6 Australian studies reviewed by University of Queensland researchers, 71.1% of pet cats roam outside their property. And animal-borne camera studies, cats wearing small video units during normal roaming, found that a significant proportion of that outdoor time is spent in active hunting behavior, not exploration. Here's the number that matters most. Of the prey that hunting cats actually catch, fewer than a quarter is brought home. Most kills happen and end somewhere you never see, left at the site, or consumed entirely before the cat returns. The gift your cat occasionally drops at your feet isn't a record of its hunting. It's a small sample of it. For every mouse on your doorstep, the camera data suggests there are several you were never shown. Finding 2 tells you what's happening. Finding 3 is the one that surprised the researchers themselves, because it shows the hunting isn't random. It's calibrated. If this is already surprising you, subscribe to Plumiq. This channel is built on exactly this. What the research actually shows about the animal sleeping in your house. Subscribe now before finding 3. Finding Year 3. Your cat's hunting success rate changes by 4x, depending on where it is, and it knows it. Hunting is mostly luck. The cat pounces, sometimes it works, mostly it doesn't. It's instinct, not strategy. Have you ever noticed your cat choosing specific spots in the yard to stop and wait? Always the same ones? A landmark Australian study, collar-mounted video cameras on cats in northern Australia, led by the Australian Wildlife Conservancy and University of Tasmania, recorded 101 hunting events across 89 hours of footage. The hunting success rate in dense grass or complex rocky cover was 17%. In open habitat, it jumped to 70%. A 4-fold difference. And the cats were not hunting randomly across both. They were selecting where to hunt, based on which terrain produced results. This is not instinct firing blindly. This is an animal running a continuously updated model of which locations in its environment produce successful outcomes and adjusting its behavior accordingly. The same cognitive system that lets your cat learn your schedule, your routes through the house, your patterns, is the system running a live success rate calculation on every square meter of its territory. 3 findings, all of them about the cat as predator. Finding 4 is the uncomfortable one, because it's not about wildlife. It's about what this means for the cat itself. Finding number 4, the 28% that never get eaten, surplus. Killing is real, and it's not cruelty. If my cat kills something and doesn't eat it, something's wrong. It's being cruel. Or it's just playing and the animal died by accident. Has your cat ever killed something it never ate? And you wondered why? In the same camera studies, a consistent proportion of kills, around 28% in the Australian footage, were not consumed at all. This pattern, called surplus killing, appears across multiple predator species and is not unique to cats. The mechanism is straightforward once you separate 2 systems that, in your cat, are not connected the way they are in you. Hunger is one system. It tells the cat when to eat. The hunting sequence, detect, stalk, chase, strike, is a completely separate system triggered by movement and opportunity, regardless of hunger state. A full cat with no interest in food will still complete the hunting sequence if the trigger conditions are met. The kill is the end of the predatory sequence. Eating is a separate decision the cat may or may not make afterward. Your cat is not being wasteful or cruel. It's running 2 independent ancient systems that happen to both be fully intact, even in an animal that has never once needed to hunt for survival. 4 findings, all of them about the cat that disappears at night. Finding 5 is about what happens when the night ends, and it's the part the cameras captured almost by accident. Subscribe to Plumiq and share this with someone whose cat goes outside. They've never seen these numbers. Subscribe now before the final finding. Finding number 5. The tracking data shows a pattern. The researchers weren't looking for GPS, and camera studies weren't designed to study the cat-owner bond. They were designed to measure roaming range and predation. But the location data has a consistent feature across almost every tracked cat, regardless of how large its territory was or how successful its hunting. Every single track, no matter how far it extended, no matter how many hours of nocturnal activity it recorded, ends in the same place, inside the boundary of the home, specifically close to where the owner sleeps. While your cat may be covering more than a hectare tonight, where do you think it'll be at 6 a.m.? Oregon State University's 2019 research found that 65% of domestic cats form a secure individual attachment to one specific person. The same proportion documented in securely attached human infants. The domestic cat genome, mapped in the 2014 Montague study, carries modifications that calibrate fear suppression, reward response, and individual memory specifically toward one registered individual. Put these 2 bodies of research side by side and something becomes clear. The same animal that tonight may cover more than a hectare, run a calibrated hunting circuit with a measurable success rate, and complete predatory sequences on animals it has no intention of eating. That animal is also running a separate system that tracks exactly one thing, the location of one specific person. And at the end of everything else the night required, that system wins. The 98% wild predator and the cat curled against your leg at 6 a.m. are not in conflict. They are the same animal, running 2 ancient systems that have nothing to do with each other, and one of them is entirely specifically about you. The cameras weren't built to prove that. But every track proved it anyway. Australian researchers filmed what house cats actually do at night. The numbers were disturbing. Bigger territories than owners believed, hunting success rates that show real strategy, kills that never make it home, and a predatory system running in full alongside the affectionate one. And in every single data set, the same animal came back, to the same person, every time. Leave a comment. Does your cat go outside? And after watching this, do you think you actually know how far? Subscribe to Plumiq, hit the bell, because the next video documents what happens in the specific hour before your cat comes home. The part of the night where the predator becomes, again, the cat that's yours.